Yo, Pete, my NaTTii riders. I've had this wallet here inside of my back pocket for the past 5 years. And today I'm getting ready to put it inside of a box and send it back to the maker who made it for me. I'm sending it back not to get rid of it, but actually the opposite way around. I'm sending it back so my homeboy Wayne over at LTL Co's that does everything leather can touch it up, fix it up for me, send it back so I can have it inside my back pocket for another 5 years, splitting lanes, doing it the R&R way. Yo, what up, Ride Not to Ride? This your boy King, man. And how many of us you guys carry around these chain wallet inside of our back pocket, man? And may know the history, may or may not know the history, how these chain wallet came to make their mark across all the subcultures of today, and everybody using them to kind of like make a statement. You feel me? And this is my personal one right here. I got it custom made. Been having this bad boys inside my pocket for the past 5 years, man. I got it made from my brother Wayne over at LTL Co. You guys can go check out his Instagram. You feel me? And hit him up. He make custom, one-off, everything leather, anything letters that you guys want, man. You guys can hit him up for you guys custom made leather stuff and get that from him. Tell him your boy King from over at R&R sent you guys over to check him out, man. That's my boy Wayne over at LTL Co. Tell him your boy King from over at R&R sent you guys over to check him out. But I'm getting ready to send off my wallet, you guys, to get touch up back, man, from him, so I can keep it going for another 5 years, 10 years, 20 years plus, you feel me? But in the process of getting ready to send off my wallet, to get it fixed up back from my boy Wayne, you know, the history behind this wallet ended up coming into mine, and I just wanted to share it with you guys, man. Hope maybe some of you guys on the page have you guys own custom wallet, and you guys can tell us about it. You know, may have one inside you guys back pocket and may know the history behind these wallets, from where they came around from and being run in the past 80 years and still standing in time, you know. So I'm gonna share you guys my story with you guys, man. So when I first came into the motorcycle community, the motorcycle culture, I used to get off work and I used to go over at Garage Company. I know a lot of you guys probably still remember Garage Company from back in the days over in Inglewood, but I used to get off of work and go and hang out over at Garage Company and go and hang out with my man Yoshi and Marty and the other cats that used to work over at Garage Company over at Inglewood, and we just sit there and chop it up with them, man, for hours, you know, talking about the motorcycle community, the motorcycle culture from back in the 60s and the 70s and what it was like and the difference of it then and what it is now. You feel me? And we just used to sitting down, shoot the shit, man, have dope conversation, just soaking up history from these older cats, you feel me? And one day I just came around and ended up asking them if they knew about any other brother that's inside the motorcycle community too, that I could probably learn some history from and get a different perspective, because Marty, being from England, being a Caucasian brother, I would say, and Marty, I think, might be Japanese, you feel me? But Asian might be, I'll just say an Asian brother, you know what I mean? And then me being black, but from Belize, and just wanted to learn some history from somebody else's point of view, you feel me? And they ended up putting me on to Will, introducing me to Will back then, which ended up becoming one of my, good friends and man still to today. But, I call him Ross Will. Some of you guys might know him as Chicago Will from back in the days, and on his Instagram, you guys can find him as Word is Just a Word, you feel me? But Will, man, Yoshi and Marty ended up introducing me to Will one day. So I'm just hanging out at Garage Company, and I came through, and Marty was like, man, Kev, King, you're in luck, my brother, because Will is supposed to come through and pick up some parts today, you feel me? So I was like, man, that's dope. So I'm gonna hang around and hopefully I run into him, you feel me? And couple minutes later on, I was not sure, a motorcycle ended up pulling up, and he ended up being Will pulling up to come pick up his parts for his motorcycle, you feel me? And I don't remember if it was Yoshi or Marty that ended up introducing me to Will, man. And my brother was just hella cool, man. We chopped it up for a second, had some cool conversation, you know what I mean? I introduced myself to him, he introduced myself to him, told him what I was about, what I was trying to get into. And he told me if I was serious about trying to get inside the motorcycle culture, that I should come out and hang out to him over on North Hollywood side, which was his spot back in the days, Trico. I don't know if a lot of you guys remember that, but Trico was Ross Will's spot back then, you feel me? So I was stoked, man, and I was like, man, hell yeah, like I appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna take you up on that offer, and I'm gonna come through and come check you out, you feel me? But I was like so kind of like happy to finally run into another brother, and then worse, he's Rasta, man, looking everything like me, you feel me? And really, with it, I ended up taking off my Rasta chain that I build for all my true friends and that actually knows me and that I call brother, and trying to keep this R&R culture going. I build these one-off Rasta chain for all my brothers and men and give it to them personally, you feel me? To let them know they really my brother and we really, see eye to eye and we there, you feel me? So I ended up taking off my Rasta chain that I had for myself back then and giving it to Will, man. And of course, Will being, a humble brethren, he didn't want to take my Rasta chain because he understood like, man, that's some serious stuff right there, man, Ras, and I don't want to take that from you, but I explained to him like, man, like this is a gift, bro, from, one brethren to another brethren, and he ended up receiving it, humbly, man, took it from me, thanked me, and we ended up going our different ways, from that day. And I ended up thanking Marty and Yoshi for that introduction, man. And that was kind of like my first step into the motorcycle culture, the motorcycle world, from True Garage Company, and then meeting Will, you feel me? And ended up jumping on my motorcycle and going over to Trico to go hang out with Will, man, and start chilling with him introducing me to the motorcycle culture, the motorcycle community, to all the cats then that I ended up knowing now, and is still my friend, to this day, you feel me? And one day I'm chilling with Will, and I ended up seeing the chain wallet inside his pocket, so I ended up asking him what it was, but I was kind of like familiar to seeing it, because I've been around to like Harley-Davidson shop, and of course Harley-Davidson make their own version of it that you can buy from them, You feel me? Shout out to Harley-Davidson, man. You feel me? But Will had one in his pocket, and he had Lion of Judah. He had a Lion of Judah on it. You feel me? And both of us being Rastas. You feel me? I was like, man, that's a badass wallet. That's heavy, you know, the design, everything that he had on it, the coloring, to the Rasta flag, you know, everything, the design into it was just dope. And I had imagined that, you know, you could do that type of artwork on a leather wallet, you feel me? Much less it was inside his pocket, you feel me? So I ended up asking him about it. You know, like, man, how could I get my hands on one? You know, I was just so happy to see one and how dope it was. I was like, man, I want one, you know? And he was like, man, he kind of like humbled me in a good way, you feel me? And was like, man, Ross, you ain't ready for one of these yet, right? And I couldn't understand it, man. You know, of course, in my head, I got a little bit hot, you know? But no, you know, in all those years, and still from then, I knew he was just letting me know, like, man, like, Ross, you ain't ready for one of these, man, because you don't understand the tradition behind these wallets, you know, what they stand for, the history, the past 80 years, from back in the 50s to the 2000s, the time that these wallets have stood and what they're about, you feel me? And that it's a serious statement for guys who ride motorcycle inside the motorcycle culture, you feel me? And so we kind of like laughed it off, you know what I mean? And he let me know, he was like, man, when you're ready, and if you really get serious into the motorcycle culture and you stick around, I'm gonna put you on to the guys who make these, and you can get one custom made for yourself, right? So I was like, man, dope, I appreciate that, my brother, you feel me? And we went out from there, you know, and me and Rasul, we ended up staying cool friend. And so that was kind of like my first coming into the motorcycle culture, being a civilian rider, and first coming across the motorcycle wallet, man. And my first kind of like story that stuck with me for this motorcycle wallet, right? So I ended up moving on and ended up patching up with my club for the past 9 years now. This wallet inside my pocket with me for the past 5 years, you feel me? And so I remember being a prospect, man, coming back from a run from outside of Arizona, and I think we stopped to eat some food, and you know, of course, the brothers them was moving around wallets and stuff, you know, paying for food, filling up gas, different stuff like that. And one of my brothers them, he didn't have a chain attached to his wallet, and I don't remember, I think he had it in his back pocket, and we ended up jumping on the road and taking off. And we ended up pulling over because he felt his wallet falling out his pants, man. And of course, me being a prospect, me and my other brother, we being prospect, we had to be the one to walk down the road while big trucks is flying down the way past us, you feel me? But us being prospect, walk down the road to go look for the wallet for him, and we ended up coming across some IDs and different stuff like that, but we didn't come across everything, you know, and we didn't come across the wallet either, you know. And I remember some of my other brothers then had motorcycle chain wallet, you know, and then talking about it and was like, man, that's why it's always a good idea, and telling us as prospect that we should invest and try and get our hand on a chain wallet to make sure that type of stuff never happened to us, you feel me? And so I remember the story from Roswell, and then that incident right there with us coming from Arizona and my brother losing his wallet kind of like hit a bell inside my head and was like, man, I need to get my own chain wallet, you feel me, for myself, so I can make sure I never lose my belongings when I'm on the road riding my motorcycle and moving around and flying down the freeway, you feel me? And so that's kind of like how, you know, how the chain and the leather come into play, you feel me? So the chain, man, is supposed to attach down to your pants, and then the leather goes inside your back pocket or your front pocket. So if it ever falls out, it's always attached down to the chain and you never lose it, you feel me? And then the leather, if for some case your chain ever attaches off from the leather, I mean from the wallet. This bad boy is built so strong, man, with the leather stitching and everything, and the leather build, and your snapped on buttons and everything, that even if it hit the ground and vehicle might run over it, this bad boy is built strong to, you know, endure and last, you feel me? So hopefully you can get to it in time, you dig? So with those, man, I can tell you to how my OGs them and other cats inside the motorcycle culture have come to explain to me and let me know about this, you know, is that it started off as like a trucker wallet and a motorcycle wallet for guys who was serious into those cultures, you know, moving around, trucker guys riding all across states, you feel me, jumping out their truck, you know, at gas stations and all different type of places, you feel me? This is definitely not something they want to lose, moving state to state, you feel me? And then guys on motorcycle flying down the freeway doing 75, 95 miles an hour, you know, I definitely know they don't want to pull up to the next gas station, the next gas pump, and they don't have this inside their pocket trying to fill up their tank to get to the next location, you feel me? So that's why they ended up designing the leather wallet the way how it is, and then attaching on the chain onto it so they can hook it onto their pants so they could never lose it, you feel me? And that sprung out of the 1950s, you feel me, made its way into the 60s, 70s, into the punk rock world, and then the rock and roll, which we abbreviation down for R&R again, you feel me? You can find those guys, rock and roll guys, rocking these, you know, wearing these bad boys right here, man. And then you passed it down into like the alternative grungy people who dress grungy, you know, alternative guys, you know, the goth culture and all those type of people. And then it moved over into other subculture. Now today you can see all different type of rap artists and, you know, R&B, you know, just all type of different people who are rocking these, like, you know, cats like Don Toliver, who's now riding motorcycle into the motorcycle world, you know, dudes like Shabuzi, who's into, like, you know, riding motorcycle into the cowboy type of style, you feel me? So you can catch all different type of people now. From way back then, it's starting off from the trucker and motorcycle world, you know, now into the music world and just civilian people wearing these as making a statement, you feel me? So that's how the wallet has survived, man, from back in the 50s all the way now into the 2000, almost 80 plus years, you feel me? And that's the history behind this wallet, man, how I ended up kind of like learning about it and coming across it, coming to learn about it and knowing about it, you feel me? And so with that, I ended up decided I wanted one for myself, so I ended up reaching out to my brother. I don't know if it was Roswell that ended up introducing me or putting me on to Wayne, but I ended up finding Wayne and I reached out to him on Instagram, man. And you know, I at first, you know, I seen all the work that Wayne did, you know, over at LTL Co. But of course, the design that I wanted, you know, with my Pharaoh, and then my, you know, you can see my Pharaoh right there. And then I have, that's for my, the Pharaoh is for my Rasta, the Rasta part of me. And I got that tatted on right there with me, man. So I've had the Pharaoh going with me for years. This is something built in into me right here. You know what I mean? And you can see I ended up putting that bad boy into my brand too, you know, for my ride, NaTTii ride. It is, so the Pharaoh been with me a long time, man, and I've had this tattoo with me for years, not knowing that I would end up slapping it onto my wallet and then tying it on to my brand now that I'm bringing out after being inside the motorcycle culture for 20 plus years, you feel me? So that's my Pharaoh on one side, man, and then that's from my regular civilian, my Rasta world, and then I have my 1%er on that side, and that's from my motorcycle, you know, my outlaw side of me, you feel me? But when I reached out to my brother Wayne over at LTL Co, man, you know, I kind of wasn't sure, you know, about if he would be able to get the design done for me, you feel me? But he ended up sending me through his page and telling me, man, just take a look, and anything he want, you know, he can put on there for me. You feel me? And I was like, man, that's dope. It is. So ended up explaining to him what I wanted and my ideas, you know, and he ended up asking me if I wanted, you know, what color Pendleton I wanted on there, if I wanted just a half a wallet or if I wanted a full wallet, you know, so I could just put my dollar bills in there, my paperwork, don't have to ever worry about my bills folding, you know, a section for my IDs and everything, man. And you can check out, that's it right there. My boy got the space inside there, you know, for you to put your dollar bill in there, extra space in there, your IDs and everything, and then you got your buttons there that it snaps on, you know. And then he ended up asking me if I wanted it just a regular brown leather or black, and of course I was into the, you know, the straight black version. You know, you can see it fading, kind of like changing colors after 5 years. You feel me? Me having it inside my back pocket, man. So that's I ended up, you know, that's kind of how I ended up reaching out to him. He ended up designing it for me and sent that bad boy back to me. You dig? And with that, when he sent it out back to me, he ended up sending out, you know, different stuff, some different presents and gifts in there for me, outside of me paying for the wallet. You feel me? And so now I'm getting ready to send it back, man. After, you know, having it with me for 5 years, I'm getting ready to send it back and get it touched up, and hopefully I can carry it down for another 10 plus years, man. So the reason why I'm originally, you know, why I'm sending it back is because, again, I want to keep the wallet. You feel me? To me, man, you know, it's a custom made wallet I designed, put years, you know, I've had it inside my pocket for 5 plus years, right? And, you know, like, I always tell people, like, you feel me, like, anything expensive, like, you feel me, like, to me, this is like a Rolex watch, you know? And if you bought a Rolex watch from the original spot that you bought it from, like, would you take it just to a regular street dealer for them to get your Rolex watch fixed for you, or would you take it back to the original spot where you bought your Rolex watch from? You feel me? And that's like that. That's in the same idea how I look at it. Like, man, you know, let me take back my Rolex watch back to its original dealer, that where I got it from, for them to fix on it and work on it for me. You feel me? And then, you know, outside of that, I feel like it's just you know, I feel like being respectable. You feel me? Like, man, you know, my homeboy built it for me, so let me send it back to the original person who built it for me, and let me keep old tradition alive. You feel me? Old biker tradition alive on taking your work back to the person who originally got it done for you or worked on it for you. You feel me? So that's the reason why I'm sending it back to my boy Wayne over at LTL Cole, man. Go and check him out, you guys, on Instagram. Telling your boy King from over at R&R sent you guys. That's why I'm sending it back to him, so he can fix it up for me, and I can, you know, probably show you guys what it looks like and have this wallet inside my pocket, man, for another 5 years. You know, and I can come around and we can check it out again 5 years from now and see what it looks like. You feel me? And then to tie all of that up, man, bring it all into to end it off, how we tie all of this into R&R. You feel me? You know, it's just more about, like, kind of like the understanding about, you know, brotherhood, man, and keeping old tradition alive. You know, old biker tradition alive, paying respect, paying honor, you know. And you know, these wallets been around for 80 plus years, and how do we keep that history alive and pass it on to the younger generation that's coming after us, that they can know what these things meant for people like us who were serious inside of the motorcycle culture. You feel me? So if any of you guys own custom wallet, man, that you guys designed, got it made from somebody, even from my boy Wayne over at LTL Coleman. Let me know about it. You feel me? If you guys are thinking about getting one done, you feel me, and might want to have some insight on how about you guys reach out. You know, who is it that you guys reach out to get one? Hit me up, you feel me, and let me know. But that's your boy King, man, over at R&R. And then with that being said, you guys, so I showed y'all that I'm sending out couple prints from my boy, and these are from my brand, from Ride Not to Ride, that I'm about to be having pretty soon, you feel me? So look out for me, man. That's my Fiero right there. That's my first one right there. That's my Ride Not to Ride, and of course my Bone, you guys can peep, is kind of like my thing, but that's my second design right there. And then that's my Ride Not to Ride, you feel me? And I've had this design, this is the second design of it, but I've had this made before, man, so this is the updated design for it, you feel me? I might show you guys a picture of the first original one, what it looked like, but I also have this inside colors, and these are prints that I'm also going to be having pretty soon, you feel me? So look out for me, my guys. So those are stuff that I'm going to be sending off for my boy Wayne, man, to send forth, you know, pay back the respect that he gave me back when he first originally made my wallet for me, you feel me? And then on top of that, over the past 5 years, man, me and Wayne have kept relationship going, you feel me, and been cool. So I look at him as a brother, you know, as a brother, brethren to me, you feel me? And with that being said, him being a brother to me, man, and I always build these my Rasta chains and for all my brethren them who's been locked in with me for a year. I built my boy his own custom Rasta chain that I'm sending out to him, you feel me? That I built for all my other brethren them. So I'm gonna be sending that off to my boy inside my package right here, sending him off some stuff, you feel me? So you guys, that's the history behind this wallet here, man, and how it came to be inside my pocket for the past 5 years. And hopefully after sending it off and get it touched up, I can have it inside my pocket for another 5+ years. That's your boy King, man, over at R&R. You know, we say ride safe, stay NaTTii, and we'll catch you guys on the next ride. Boom.